Well, it took a lot of hard work, but I'm proud to announce that I am a millionaire.
Vibe, blessed, super blessed.
Don't mind me, I'm just practicing for when it actually happens. But honestly, that's a goal of mine, and if you're watching this channel, I bet it's a goal of yours too. But what are we actually doing to get to that goal? Are we putting things in place? Are we following some rules? Are we making changes in our lives? According to the rich people, the millionaires, they use personal finance to get to that point. So I made a list of 8 personal finance lessons that will change your life, and some of them I'm currently using. So if you want to jump on the future millionaires train, then watch the rest of this video. Number 1 is going to be use a credit card. Have you ever seen videos of people cutting up their credit cards to symbolize the end of financial slavery? It's not a good look because people depict credit cards to be the bad guy there. But honestly, credit cards aren't bad. The truth is, we are the bad guys because we don't know how to properly use them. Credit cards are basically small loans that the bank issue to you, the holder, with an assigned limit. This gives you the ability to use the card's balance to spend without using your own cash. And yes, you have to pay back this cash, and on time also. But I'm not here to tell you everything about credit cards. I'm just going to share how I use them to benefit my financial needs. And the way that I use my credit cards is to build good credit history. And yes, credit is a thing in Jamaica. When you use your credit card, the bank knows where every dollar is going. But not only that, they also track how much you spend. They also track when you pay your balance and how much you paid. Now, because you're using the bank's money and you're paying it back on time or even early, plus you're paying it back in full, what is to stop them from trusting you with more money? You create leverage with the bank, therefore building your credit history. So when the time comes to get that car loan or that mortgage or that fixer-upper loan, then it's going to be easier to get that loan. Maybe you can even get a lower interest rate. And you know why? Because they have seen how you spent money and also that you can pay it back in full. They know that they're not going to lose their money, therefore building that trust in you. Credit cards have a bunch of other benefits, so let me know if you want to see a credit card series. Number 2 is going to be diversify your income. Multiple streams of income is truly the source of wealth. And my reason for saying this is that many of us have one stream of income, and that's our job. And we all know that it has a limit. We have a set amount of hours that we can work, and we have a ceiling in the amount of income we can make. So even by some chance, if you push the limit, you can only work 24 hours in a day. You can't really pass that. So clearly, it's easy to hit the ceiling with a job. That means we only have one solution to this problem, and that's to have multiple streams of income. But the problem is people think that multiple streams of income means to have 7 businesses, 2 jobs, and do just about every side hustle that's in the book. That's not entirely true. We basically have 3 income generators: business, investing, and real estate. I'm still on the path of growing a business, and real estate is something that I really want to get into the near future. And as you might know, and for those who are new, I do investing on this channel, so that's one off the list. But by knowing what pools I need to put my money into for growth, it makes the journey of being a future millionaire easier. Think about how convenient it must be to lose, let's say, your job, but you know that on the side you have your businesses, you have your real estate, you have your stocks raking in some dividends, to know that you don't have to panic and you can even take your time, maybe even take a 2 months break from getting a job to jump back into the hustle and bustle, and you have some financial cushioning in your life. That's my aim, that's my North Star, and I think that we should all have the coordinates to that destination. In this economy, it's hard to make 2 ends meet, especially in Jamaica, since everywhere open the same time and close the same time. 9 to 5, everybody does the same thing. So it's virtually impossible to get a second job to help cushion the expenses. Right now, it seems like it's not even a choice anymore. You have to have multiple streams. So think about growing a business while doing your 9 to 5. Think about investing in whatever you're interested in and whatever you can learn. Just try to start something, stick to it, and don't watch how small it starts. Just watch the potential and how far it can go. Number 3 on the list is going to be invest in development. I love to preach this, and I believe that this is the highest form of investment. This is where you can get the most return on your investment. Plus, I also think that this is the greatest way to show self-love. Development is a lifelong journey, but for some of us, we only think that development happens in schools.
But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? knowledge.
But school doesn't prepare you for everything that happens in life. You know why? Because life continually changes. And for you to have a fighting chance to stand out and become your best self, or to become the best in a business, education, spirituality, personal finances, then you have to focus on developing these. I recently started a course on finance and accounting, and trust me, it's hard. Not going to lie, it's very challenging, and since I've been out of school, the brain kinda get lazy. But because I know my vision and I know the benefits of doing this, I just have to tough it out. Improving yourself shows discipline and interest. So start with reading some books, watching some podcasts, taking up some courses online, or maybe even hiring a mentor or get a coach. But invest in development because it will separate you from the crowd and bring you closer to your vision. Number 4, track your expenses. Listen, if you don't track it, then how are you going to know where you're failing? And that's facts. Many of us have never put pen to paper or even download our statements from our banking apps and see what we're actually spending our money on. Yes, the income in Jamaica is low, and most of the times we don't see the importance of tracking it, but chances are if we actually see where the money is going, then we may be more inclined to make more wise decisions in the future. Do this little activity right now. Go on your banking app and download your financial statements and take a deep, detailed look and see where you're putting your hard-earned money. You may find that those ATM withdrawals or those card machine swipes are adding up because you're using your debit cards, and that has a transaction fee. It adds up. Me I telling you this, trust me, especially with those service charges. I know them too. I know them. You may even find out that the gas station down the road sell you more gas, and that gas lasts longer in your car. The cook shop down the road may be cheaper than the one up the road, but just because the one down the road look away, you kind of say, I don't want to spend my money there because my friends are going to see me. Yo, go down the road and save some money. The food probably tastes better too. And maybe you can see that you need to skip some of the drink outs that you have every Friday night, maybe reduce them to once a month and save more money in your pocket at the end of the month. All I'm saying is that we should know where our money is going, because if you're like me and when you get your income, you make sure that everything is correct and you make sure you're getting everything that you work for. So why not see where you're spending your money to make wiser decisions? And I can guarantee that it will be an eye-opening experience for most of you. Number 5 is going to be reduce your rent and try to live someplace cheaper. Rent adds up to roughly 30 to 50% of our take-home pay. I'm fortunate that I don't live in the city to pay that obnoxious rent, so I save money and I also have better quality space. But if you fall in the category that it's easier to get to work and it's easier to be around your social circle, then you're going to have to pay for that. But you can't get everything perfect in life, so if you need to save some money, then you have to make some sacrifices. You may have to make the decision of having a longer commute time, so that means living out of the city, living in a boring town, or you may have to sacrifice personal space and get a housemate, maybe even a roommate. But with rent being one of our major expenses, we have to find some way to work around it. I use my savings from having a cheaper rent to invest, whether that's in stocks, my knowledge, or maybe even more YouTube gear. If I were to move to Kingston, no doubt about it, I would need a housemate, because there's no way I'm going to pay that high rent. If you have a girlfriend, a wife, or a significant other, then it's even better. Pool that money together, still find a cheaper place, and pay the rent together. That way, the money that you're saving, you can invest it and have that investment go towards maybe buying your house later down the line. Number 6 is going to be buy meaningful things. Sometimes we're all guilty of buying unnecessary crap. We go on Amazon or maybe go to Fontana and buy some gadget that we have no use for. Before you buy something, think about it for a while. Let it meds in your brain for like maybe a week or maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month, or if you're like me, in my case, maybe 5 to 6 months. But if you revisit the idea or that need that you thought you had and you still want that item or you still need that item, then go ahead and make the purchase. Just make sure that it can generate some income or it can benefit your quality of life. So example, meaningful things that I bought are this mic right here, the camera that I'm using, the lens on the camera, the laptop in front of me, this phone for capturing any footage on the go, and also for quick edits, my light for making my YouTube videos look like this, my Coursera membership for the course that I'm taking, my Skillshare membership, and in the near future, an M1 MacBook Pro to enhance the speed and the reliability of editing my videos. All of these items satisfy the criteria. They make me an income and they also help with building my business. Number 7, beware of lifestyle creep. Major problem alert, major problem alert. We start to make some money and immediately everything needs to be upgraded. The car isn't driving the way it used to, so now we need a new one. But not just a new one, the newest model with the prettiest trims, with the biggest engine. Yes, I am a prime example of this because I do love a nice car. The house isn't big enough even though you one live in a 2-bedroom house. The clothes aren't made of a nice enough material and they're too thin, so no more shopping on Shein, you're going straight to Polo. This is what I mean by lifestyle creep. And the thing that we should be doing is keeping our expenses relatively the same. Let's say you're making $200,000 per month and your wants expenses are 20% of your salary. That's $20,000. Now you get a new job and you're getting $400,000 a month and you're no longer spending that 20% a month on your wants. You up that to around 50%. So now you're spending $200,000 on clothes and fancy car loans and house repayment for what? What should be happening is that we're keeping the same percentage. And what most people don't realize, if you keep the same percentage and your pay goes up, that 20% is worth more. 20% of $200,000 is $40,000, but 20% of $400,000 is $80,000. So keep the percentage the same, increase the income, and that 20% will be worth more. You will end up having more money to invest and save, therefore realizing your goal of retiring earlier with more passive income because you have more money in investments, more money into growing your business, and more money to live comfortably. It's not about keeping up with the Joneses because nobody knows how much the Joneses make. So why are you trying to impress them? They not even know you. And number 8 is going to be budget to save and invest. We all know what a budget is, but most people only include their income and their expenses. So they budget for the amount of food, their rent, and their bills and their loans, but most people don't set a budget for their savings or their investments. And the reason for me saying this is that when you see something on your budget, it's real and you save towards that. You have a goal, it's your priority. So if you don't have your investments and your savings on it, it's going to be like it doesn't matter. Whatever come in, then that goes to saving and that goes to investment. But have a plan, have a target, have a goal, because your investments and savings is just as important as the bills you're paying. They're even more important than the bills because the bills are just going to another person's income. The investment is actually benefiting you. It is when you are paying yourself. That is your paycheck to yourself. As I said before, by having that in your budget, it makes it a priority. So each month I know the minimum that I'm supposed to make to satisfy my budget needs. If I make more money, then great, more contributions to my savings and investments. I don't know about you, but these sound like some solid tips and tips that you should follow. As always, thank you for sharing and subscribing to the videos. And if you want to be a part of the Future Millionaires Club, then just ring that notification bell so you don't miss when a video is being uploaded. Until next time, this is Demetress Fairman saying happy investing.